Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 12 of our Astropolis Let's Play series, where today, well, there's a lot of changes, all right? I may have went a little bit overboard. I may have done a lot of work in between episodes. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go over it. We're going to review it. I'm giving you a preview. Didn't mean to do that, but it's there. Let's get started. Hey, before we begin the episode, I just want to let y'all know about the first 5 minutes of this episode. Our channel updates or a question for you guys to answer in our community page. So 5 minutes. If you're not watching this in 2023 or March 24th when this episode comes out, really around that time. So March 24th, 2023, you can probably skip ahead 5 minutes in this episode to get to the actual content. But there's a question that I'm asking you guys to answer if you would like in our community page. So if you are watching this, on March 24th of 2023, head over to our community page, answer the question, and give me your feedback. Yeah, let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful episode here in the world of TheAndrata, where we are playing Astropolis, as you can see from the title down there, and where, well, we've got some changes. So, all right, let's talk about changes. In between episodes here, generally I record in batches, so especially with our 3-day upload schedule. So like I'll record on a Saturday, so I'll record all 3 episodes on that Saturday and then schedule them to release Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This time, though, I did not do that. I'm actually recording this on Thursday for this episode that's going to go live tomorrow. A little bit behind schedule, but that's perfectly fine. It works out. Just had a lot to do this weekend. But with that being said, between episodes 10 and 11 that came out, I was able to get some work done on our base and get things going. The stuff that I talked about doing last episode, which was, expanding, getting our domes set up here and everything. So I did that. Okay, I did it. I did all of them. So let's talk about what we got, because there's been quite a few changes. So preface this, most of the episode is probably going to be talking about the changes that we have. I have some plans at the end of the episode, endish, for us to do some stuff with the changes that we have. But yeah, talking about changes that we have going on. Before I begin that, though, since I am recording this on Thursday, before the episode goes live Friday, it gives me the opportunity to let you guys know. If you go to our community page, if you go to my channel and you click community or post or something like that, can't remember exactly where it's at, I posted a question for you guys. If you would like to leave some feedback, first things first, would you like to see a return of Enigmatica 6 Expert? It is probably my most requested pack to return to the channel. When's a new episode coming out, or when you're going to come back to Enigmatica 6? So we got that going for us. It's also the Enigmatica 6 was the highest performing pack of the channel, outside of Enigmatica 6 and Enigmatica E6E really were both. And I'm talking about E6E. I don't know if I said expert. Anyway, so it's the best performing on the channel, the most requested to return to the channel. And it's probably the one that I'm most upset about having to drop that series, because we put so much effort into it. Well, it was like 120 something episodes. If you aren't familiar, my world got corrupted, and just my last backup was from 4 weeks ago, prior to the corruption, and it was non-recoverable. Couldn't figure out how to get it back, and redoing almost a month or 2 weeks or whatever's worth of work in that world would have been a lot, because those episodes, especially since we're so far at the end, I was doing a lot in between episodes. It wasn't feasible for me to have to go back and redo all the stuff that I had already done. Even if I were to have gone into cheat mode and done it, it was too much. So anyway, question is, would you like to see a season 2 of Enigmatica 6 Expert? That would be a completely new Let's Play. We're not going to continue where we left off. We would start back over from the beginning. I'd probably cut some things a little shorter than I did in the initial run, because we've already seen them. But it would be a full Let's Play. There's been a lot of changes to E6E since we played, because it's been almost a year since that happened. So lots of changes, so new things and everything. So that's that. Also, our Monday, Wednesday, Friday upload schedule. My initial thoughts with this was to have our channel Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I was like going to do Mondays as Minecraft, Wednesdays Wildcard, Fridays Pokemon. I'm thinking after this series, Astropolis, I'm going to have Mondays and Wednesdays be Pokemon, or I'm sorry, be Minecraft, whether that be E6E or a different type of pack, and then Fridays be Pokemon. What are your thoughts on this? Would you like to see the Pokemon? Is that something you would stick around for, want to see? Most likely it's going to be, it'll be full Let's Plays of randomized Nuzlockes, of the core games and ROM hacks. I'm probably going to start out with ROM hacks, to be honest, because Pokemon Unbound, I download it. I have an Ambernick RG353V. Yeah, that thing. And I downloaded Pokemon Unbound on it, and it's actually pretty darn fantastic. So I'd like to play it with you guys if that's something you'd like to see. But let me know. Facecam would be on too. I'll pop myself somewhere around here so you can see my reactions, especially when all my Pokemon die and everything like that. But yeah, anyway, I've rambled on long enough with the updates. I'll put in, which you guys aren't going to know. Well, yeah, I'll tell you at the beginning. I'll put in my intro a timestamp of this time so that you know when you can skip all the updates if you really wanted to. So, but hopefully you've stuck around here till this point. Yeah. Anyway, all right, base. So what we did, if you remember last episode, I talked about our little domes and my idea with this. So I went ahead and did it. I went ahead and got all the glass, the connecting glass, set it all up. It was a real pain, but luckily we have wands that really helped me out for the most part, because all I have to do, really the hard part is getting these laid out without falling off, which happened many times, but luckily it doesn't matter. Getting our edges laid out, then I can do one layer of our bricks, and then, wand up the bricks. I did go ahead and place below this, though, slabs, so that way we have something to catch things if we need to, and it just makes it easier when I'm building if I need to go under anything. With that, though, I also, underneath each one of these, is this center of the room? No, this is center. Underneath each of these, I set up its own power flower. So I did this by placing bricks on the sides here, like here, and then building myself down. Falling actually honestly wasn't too bad for these because it just helped me line things up a little bit better. But I placed bricks, built my way down, and then I built my power flowers up from there, which worked out okay. It took, I don't even want to know, to build all of these, probably about 2-3 hours, because I don't have flight yet. So it was kind of sort of a pain to do. But I did it. So what we have underneath, and obviously I didn't do the dome for this because it's going to require a whole lot of glass and rearranging of things. So let's walk through what we have done here. So underneath, in each of these, except for this one here, I have a power flower tower. That's what I'm calling it. It's the power flower tower. So we have 4 thermoelectric, what are those called? Thermoelectric conductors? I don't remember. Thermo something. What is the name of these? Thermoelectric generator. There we go. It's generating power. So I have thermoelectric generators here, and then the standard power flower setup here. So there's one set of thermoelectric here. There's one set here. There's one set here. And there is one set here. So that gives us a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of power flower providing power, which gives us an input. If each one is 112 RF, should be 448 RF input. Right now it's empty though, because I was building and filled up our thing, so we have no input going on, but it does show 448. I checked them all. So we have 448 RF coming into this energy cube, and I did go ahead and set energy cubes up in each one. That way we have power being stored. So if we go around the room, you're going to see, or around our base, we have one there, we have one there, and then we have a mess because it's like, everything's everywhere. Also, tearing down everything in our base was a nightmare in and of itself. Leveling our asteroid and everything. Did I do that last episode? Maybe I did. At this point, I can't remember. Yes, I did. Oh, game just crashed. So, yeah, I did that last episode. So we're good. With that being said, we are domed up, so we have some expansion room. So I'd like to move some of this stuff as we can, as needed and everything. And power is taken care of in each one of the areas. Eventually, I'd like to centralize our power, but with this pack relying so heavily on those thermoelectric generators, it's really not a feasible thing for us. As you can see, yeah, I did do this episode. Our floating island is gone, except for those 2 bricks I apparently missed, because I went ahead and moved all of our cloches into one of our domes. Now, let me tell you about our garden cloche room, because I'm gonna walk in there and you're gonna be like, what the heck, TheAndrata? You did a lot of work. Why did you do that? Well, okay, I kind of got a little carried away. Probably could have recorded some of it or whatever, but it's fine. Okay, it's fine. We're good to go. We're good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into our cloche room over here and show you what I done did. Okay, let's go in and slow reveal and we've got a room. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I went ahead and I set up all of our garden cloches, and I made a few more, just expanded out our room. So we have some empty ones going on ready for us to fill at a later date. I also went ahead and got us all of the other materials that we had mined for in the last episode. So all of those crystals that we had, what is this? This is like silver, aluminum, nickel, and all of that stuff. Okay. So what we have going on in here is our garden cloches producing their things. And they dump their items out into our drawers like always. And you're going to see we have things floating on the ground. There's a reason for that. They then, each of our oak drawers, if functional storage is the mod that provides these, and it is a rewrite and upgrade essentially to the storage drawers mod. Functional storage has these handy dandy pusher and puller upgrades where it can push into an inventory and it can pull from an attached inventory. And specifically, what we have here is pusher upgrades, and they are not that expensive at all. Stone, wooden hopper, a drawer, redstone dust. All stuff that we have tons of, right? Especially like we have tons of redstone now, and we're generating even more. So I made pusher upgrades, and now, so inside of each one of these is a pusher upgrade set to down, right? I've filled them all in. Pusher upgrades for everybody, okay? So what happens here is our cloche dumps its crystal into the drawer. It gets pushed down into a factory block placer from, Engineers Decor, which we talked about. We had that set up over there in the middle of our base with our amethyst. So I went ahead and decided to use the block placers for this. And again, they are not very expensive. It just required old industrial wood planks and the machinist research packs. Okay. Hardest part is really the machinist research packs, and it's not even hard. It's just time consuming because we have to wait for our blast furnace or our coke oven to cook up all of the creosote. And we're going to actually work on automating that whole process here very soon. So I have creosote and I have treated wood planks on hand. I'm tired of having to manually craft them with our jerry can. Because, jerry can, sure, makes it easy, still a pain. So we have block placers, and what they do, clusters come in, they get placed right in front. In front of those, we have a block breaker from Engineers Decor. Super simple, don't have to do anything with it. Crystal gets placed, block breaks, bam, items get dumped out on the ground. And yes, I know we discussed that this only outputs 2, but we'll talk about why I went this route instead of the crusher in a moment. Okay, so they get broke and the crystals end up dumping into the world. And that was the part that I was struggling with the most. How could I get these picked up? Because there's no vacuum hopper in this pack. There is this vacuum urn upgrade, which I imagine is what the intended replacement is from Laganar storage. But this stuff's easy. I have no idea where Laganar antennas come from. It's a mob. It looks like this guy, but I don't know where they are. I'm going to assume they're on another planet, and we have not gotten to any other planets yet, so it doesn't really help me in this area yet. Okay. So we went this route. So I was like, okay, well, I remembered from my E6E series that factory hoppers from Engineers Decor they actually have a range that they can pick up from. So if we go to our quests, if you remember, in our arc furnace, after we got old industrial wood planks, factory hoppers is a item that is listed in here for us to get. And I was curious why, like, what do we need these for? And I because it's in the block breaker and everything, I guarantee this is the intended reason that factory hoppers are in here, is for picking up your drops. So what happens is these factory hoppers are set to pick up items. That is this area here, a collection radius, and it is a 4-block collection radius. Okay. So what I have is 2 of them, 2 that are set, one here and one sits here. Okay. And as you can see, both of them are full because I didn't AFK for terribly too long because I knew this was going to happen because I haven't set up the processing of this yet. And that's what I want to do with you guys. So they go into here, and then we have pipes from item pipes set to extract from the hopper. So they don't have to be set up a specific way. Those get extracted, and then they get put into this storage controller. Okay. Storage controller is linked to all of our drawers here. So I don't want to click on that, and I don't want to change anything. I imagine if I click on it, it'll just let me bind these other chests and stuff. But all of these drawers are linked to this storage controller. So what that means is if an item gets pumped into it, which they do from the bottom, the storage controller will automatically put it into the drawer that it belongs in because these are locked. Only those items can go in the drawers, so we don't have to worry about anything else. And so that's our process, right? Everything goes in, and then it goes into its requisite drawer. The only thing that I don't have getting processed right now is our like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, because I don't know how many of those I need, and I need to really get a different process going for those. So yeah, that's that. Power wise, everything runs through the top. We have a power flower underneath, and it's able to handle all of the power input here. I did go ahead and get us the gold water source because we have gold available to us now since last episode when we mined up all that gold. So we have gold available to us. Also upgraded my backpack to the gold backpack. Also upgraded this backpack to the gold backpack. Also upgraded, we got improved upgrades, which actually didn't require gold. They require bronze. I thought we were going to have an issue with these because I was like, oh, they're going to need gold. We could have been making improved upgrades for pipes all the time. But with the improved upgrades, we are able to now extract power from here at 8,000 RF per tick. So we're good to go. And our water can extract 500 millibuckets every tick. So it's keeping up, maintaining, and we're good to go. Here's the thing. I did set up initially in here the crusher, and I think I have all the stuff in my backpack. I think it's all inside of this backpack. Yeah, I have all the materials needed for the crusher, and it's no longer out here because I brought it in here. I'm like, okay, let's automate the crusher. Items can pump directly into the crusher, go out into a chest, and we're good to go. Problem with that is crusher, I have no idea what its inventory is. What can it hold? How much? I have no idea. What happened was I hooked it up to our storage controller. It was sitting right here. I hooked it up to the storage controller, and it just kept pulling items. Pulling, nonstop. Like it would not stop pulling items out of the storage controller. Hundreds and hundreds of crystals. The other issue that I had with there is that because it was all hooked up to the storage controller, and they were pumping into there from a pipe, it didn't round robin the crystals. So we were ending up pulling all of the copper, and then I got to wait for that to process. Then all of the amethyst that has to process. It doesn't round robin or cycle where it's going to pull from. It's just going to pull from the first chest, pull everything, move to the next, pull everything, move to the next. Okay. So it really wasn't super duper feasible. On top of that, the power usage was absolutely, I don't even know how much power it was using. I could not keep up with 8,192 RF draw, and I think our cloches only use like 12 RF. Like, it's not really that much. It could not keep up. The crusher was just bottlenecking itself with power, so things were taking forever to actually do any crushing. So I switched to this system. And so you're going to see here what we have is everything set up, everything piping into this. We have a storage controller set up. I have a pipe set up right here, a deep slate brick, and power coming in here. And I wonder what that's going to be for. Well, we need to process all of this stuff. And so we are going to work on making ourselves a crafter from RF tools, which is why I have power here and items set up all ready to go. And then over here, we have an ender chest. Now you're going to be like, TheAndrata, you cheater. You cheated in an ender chest because I don't see no blaze rods. I didn't see you can't get any blazes or do anything like that. I don't even know what the recipe is. Yeah, blaze rods. You didn't kill no enderman, TheAndrata. You dirty cheater. You creative mode hacker. No, sorry. I got you. Call me out. See what happens. Block shop or useful items. Ender chest, 8 for a pair. Really wasn't that big a deal. 8 B-bucks for a pair of ender chests, and we'll talk about why I wanted ender chests here later once we get to our other room. which is, I guess, going to be now because we need to go over there. Because I'm talking a lot and I want to get this thing done. So let's go talk about our other room. Okay, finally, our last room, storage room. Standard TheAndrata setup, storage controller. I made a bunch of compacting drawers because, again, compacting drawers aren't that expensive, especially now that we have a lot of resources available to us. Literally Asher block, glass, and hammers. Compacting drawers are fantastic because if you put an ingot in there, you also get access to the nuggets and the blocks. It'll automatically put them in block form for you. And these hold 512 of the blocks. So you can hold a lot of it in one. Inside of each of these, though, because I am extra, I put the copper upgrades, which really is just a whole bunch of copper, which we have, like that is me after using all the copper that I had. We still have 45 blocks of copper. So yeah, we have a lot of copper available to us. So, and apparently, I guess I accidentally put right-clicked one of these without paying attention. I'll get that out of there later. So we have compacting drawers for the items that generally you might need blocks of, or nuggets. So all of our metals, of course. Coal, you can find recipes that need coal blocks, redstone, lapis, and quartz. Then over here, we have glass over here. And then I have like our other resources. 1.3 thousand of the organic powder because we got that from Bert tearing down our island, and 928 ice shards and 1.4 thousand water drops. Yeah, that was a lot. And then our amethyst, because that stuff just, takes up a lot of room. And then I moved our portal over there. Okay, let's get into the meat of the episode and at least get something done here for us. So I want to go ahead and make ourselves the RF Tools Crafter. Okay, the RF Tools Crafter is a item that automates crafting for you. Now, I also noticed this thing over here, the assembler from Immersive Engineering, which we're going to talk about when we get to this. When we automate this thing, but we're working our way backwards, right to left today. Okay, crafter tier 1. So we need to make this. I do have that machine frame floating around somewhere that I had already made, and then I'm gonna need to get myself some sticks, which I should have some of this stuff left over. I also have some sticks here, and then I need my redstone, which I have back over here. Okay, and eventually I'll tear down all this stuff. Nope, not over there. I cannot find any of my stuff. I keep forgetting where I put everything. I really want to get into AE2 now, especially now that I have a storage drawer, because pulling items from here to craft with is going to be a pain. And then crafting, I really should put a crafting drawer in there. You didn't see me, but I just tilted my head back so you like pointed at it. But hey, let's go ahead and get ourselves, we'll just craft all of the redstone torches we can with those sticks. We're going to grab a crafter, and we need crafting tables, which means I need more planks because I only grabbed one plank apparently for whatever reason. I thought that was a whole stack, but now it's more than one stack. Let's grab crafting tables. So I'm going to need a set of 2, 4, 6 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, come back. Then we're going to go ahead and craft a crafter tier 1. We're going to hit you on that and get a crafter tier 2 immediately. And then we're going to hit you on that as well and get a crafter tier 3. Luckily, there's no increased cost to it. It's the same materials. You just have to, the word is escaping me right now as to what we just did. It was like cyclic crafting or continuous crafting, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring this all the way over here, and we are going to break this down. Now, I left some space here and kind of planned out because we are most likely going to need more than one of these tier 3 crafters because we're going to end up with more crystals. And yeah, but we really only have, if we look at our quest book, there's really only the next set is not more clusters. Yeah, that's all the ones I made. Not more clusters, but clusters again. There's really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more clusters. And then there's this glowstone one that we need to make. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have exactly that amount of space in here for them. And if I need to, I can get rid of sugarcane, stuff like that. So we really don't have to worry about this room terribly too much. Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and place this down. And you're going to see it's going to get power and it's going to get shards. I don't want that to happen. Let's not do this yet. Okay. You don't want anything just yet. So the way that the crafter works is it receives items. They can go into its inventory, and you can set recipes to automatically be crafted. So if I take these lead shards and I set them like this, it's going to automatically craft the lead shards into a lead ingot. Okay. So it's going to just do our crafting for us. If we set it, all input items are going to be consumed. So this is your inputs, and then our output, the result is going to go into the output buffer, okay, which is what we want to happen. So if I were to put these in here and I were to say apply, and then I were to turn it on, does it not have enough power? Does it need to be full on power to work? because it should have just crafted those. There it goes. Okay, just a little bit of a block update needed. But look, there we go. It automatically crafted those 20 into 6 ingots. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So what we can do is then pipe those ingots out of our crafter into our ender chest. And if you know about our storage room that we just set up, you kind of see where I'm going with this. So we can go ahead and kind of bring ourselves down here, grab ourselves a pipe wrench, and boop, do that. And now our items went into the ender chest. Great. That's what I wanted to see happen. Let's go ahead and not that. I meant to middle click. Let's do that. Perfect. So what we can do now is, well, set up all of the recipes. However, we want to be careful with this because what could happen is, I don't want to demonstrate because I don't want it to happen. But what could happen is basically what's happening down here with our drawers here is we got a bottleneck going, right? We end up with so many of each of these crystals inside because I get so much coal. My drawer over there fills up, so then it can't empty out of my ender chest, and so it ends up backstuffing everywhere, and then we end up with a huge problem because now I have nothing being processed because it all got stuck in my crafter. So what I need to do is utilize the ability of the crafter to lock its inventory here, okay, so that it remembers the inventory of each one of these. So what I'm just doing now, and we don't need amethyst, okay. I'm just going through checking to see if I duplicated anything. I did do iron extra. First, I guess I can just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. Because we can only hold 8 in here. 1 recipe, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we can only have 8 in here. So let's just put those things away. The amethyst, well, I can't. Okay. They immediately filled back up because, we have our back stuff going on here. But you can hear the nice, pretty crystals running again because we cleared up some room. I like it. Anyway, if we go in here, I can only hold 13 or 8, so I need to pull myself out 5 of these. So we are going to have to set up another crafter to process the other recipes, but that's okay. So we have these recipes in here, and then what I'm going to do is put something in here that will never, ever, ever be dropped on the ground in here. That way it doesn't ever get picked up and doesn't ever end up in here. So something that will never end up in this inventory. So deep slate bricks would work. That'd be fine. We can put that in there. And I'm going to click this button here that says remember the current items. So now I can take my deep slate bricks out, and these slots will never get filled up. But these slots will automatically get filled up with 1 stack, and then they'll get processed. So all I got to do is teach the next recipe. So I do this, and then I click apply, and then I go here, and then I do this, and then I click apply, and then I go here, and then I do this, and then I click apply, and so on and so forth. You kind of get how this is going to go. So I do all of my recipes, and yep, we're on this one. Set up my recipe, this one. And my last one is going to be tin. Good. Okay, so everything's inside of here. It's all now emptying into this chest, and we have resources. Yay. Good for us. Okay, and we have everything being processed and picked up. Oh, by the way, I also have a breaker over here. Boop. This is where the lead comes from, and it is within range of this picker operator. It's just not picking up because it's processing this other stuff right now, I hope. It was picking up when I tested this, so... yeah, obviously, we have lead shards in there. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go to our storage room and set up the auto processing of this stuff into our drawer, because what's going to happen next is that chest is going to fill up with, the ender chest is going to fill up with all of those resources, and we have nowhere to put them, which is why I put copper upgrades on all of these. So if we come over here, we go to our storage controller, and I go ahead and get myself an item pipe. And did I think ahead and make an extra improved upgrade? I did not. That's okay. I can make one fairly easily. We don't have to worry about it. So if I go ahead and set this up here, and I get my ender chest, and I pop this guy here, and then I come back under here, and I set it to extract, everything now is going to get extracted into this storage controller, and then automatically put into its drawer. And the best thing about functional storage compared to, well, there's a lot of things about functional storage compared to storage drawers. Upgrades are multiplicative. I think I said that word right. Multiplicative, not additional. So if I put, this says multiplies the block item storage by 8. If I put another one in there, it's going to multiply it by 8 again. And I put another one in there, it's going to multiply it by 8 again. So it's you can end up with just copper upgrades. You can end up holding a lot of resources, like a lot of resources. But yeah, now we have this setup automated, which means I really could AFK and get us hundreds or thousands really of all of the resources that all the resources that we're going to end up needing, at least for a little while. But everything's processing. That lead get picked up yet? That looks like it's in a different position. It was this way before, wasn't it? So I'm going to say yes, it did. Maybe. Yeah. Now all I got to do is use that pipe that I stole from there, hook it up here, turn this off, turn that on, and bada bing, bada boom, we have stuff getting pulled into here. Now, it's not very fast because this is only pulling out 4 items every 20 ticks, but we can get an improved pipe upgrade thrown in there, speed it up, and then it'll speed up the processing in here, which puts them in here, which gets them into our drawers and automates it. I'm going to set up myself another crafter, and I'll probably, because I hate the imbalance, I'll set up a third one. Whether we're actually going to end up needing a third one, I'm not 100% sure on, because... Well, just because I don't think a third one's really going to be necessary, but I'm going to set it up anyway because I don't like it being asymmetrical. So I'll set up another crafter here, get it coded so it's processing all this stuff. And then what eventually is going to happen, just like these emptied, all of our drawers emptied, these will all be empty. So that's why I don't have upgrades in any of these, because we don't need to. They're all going to get processed, and ultimately everything ends up over here where it's going to be compacted and do the thing that we needed to do. So yes, is it as efficient as a crusher? No. Crusher does 6x everything, so we're really losing out on 3 crystals for every one that gets broken by the block breakers. However, free, no power needed. Round robins, because as it gets picked up in here, it gets pushed in. And then once this backlog clears, it's just picking up all of them as they go. So we have that backlog cleared. It'll just pick them up. So it's much more randomized as to which ones are getting processed. And I like the sound of it. Except when I'm over here for too long. But yeah, anyway, that is going to be it for today's episode. Like I said, lots of updates in our world here, but that's okay. It happens. But next episode, we can come back and we can start working on, really, we're going to be jumping into Electrum, Jet Suit, processors, and better storage. AE2 is where we're going, which I'm excited for because I've never really used AE2. I'm a refined storage guy by heart because the channels scare me. So we'll see how that goes. I know I can turn the channels off, but the channels scare me. We'll see what ends up happening with it all and everything. I won't turn it off. I'll probably struggle is what's going to happen. But anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one.